So Venezuela was rocked by four powerful earthquakes on September 24th, ranging from 6.3 to 4.9, and all at epicenters near the town of Meme Grande in Zulu State. That's about 370 miles west of Caracas. The official explanation we're hearing is that the natural tectonic shift along the boundary of the Caribbean plate. But I can tell you that is a lie. And I can give you a list of suspicious earthquakes tied to geopolitical events, all triggered from Antarctica. In 1976, there was a Tanshin earthquake in China. It struck just weeks before Mao's death. It was engineered to destabilize the already wobbling communist leadership just before Deng Xiaoping consolidated power. 1988, there's a Spitak earthquake in Armenia. Just as Glasnost and Perestroika were losing the USSR grip, the quake devastated Soviet Armenia. And within a year, Soviet republics were agitating for independence. Follow the bouncing ball, my friends. In 1999, you had the Izmit earthquake in Turkey. Weeks after, Turkey shifted closer to the EU and NATO alignment. They were distancing themselves. In 2010, Haiti earthquake. And here's where it gets wild. Right here in the Caribbean, just before the quake, Haiti was resisting foreign mining contracts tied to rare earth elements. After the devastation, the US military forces arrived within hours, faster than most aid organizations. And then mining concessions shifted hands within the same year. In 2011, you know about the Cooke earthquake and the tsunami in Japan. Because beyond Fukushima disaster, it occurred right as Japan was quietly debating losing the post-World War II pacifist restrictions. Every one of these suspicious earthquakes preceded something major realignment. Either the death of a leader, the collapse of a state, a NATO expansion, or a shifting of military industrial contracts. Don't be fooled, guys. You got to know what's happening here in Antarctica, particularly at the Numa Station 3. That's a German research facility. Nearby is an American installation. They have been ongoing seismic research experiments since the early 2000s. Publicly, what you read is that they're looking at climate change. Privately, they have been testing low frequency resonance technology. What is this capable of doing? Inducing pressure on tectonic fault lines thousands of miles away. The Venezuela quake of 2018 came 1 week after they announced new plans to bypass the US dollar by launching the petro cryptocurrency, supposedly backed by the oil reserve. That was a direct threat to the petrodollar system. Is it a coincidence? Timing was just uncanny for me. I don't know about you. So the four powerful earthquakes, they rocked Venezuela. The tremors were felt in Colombia as well. Don't get me wrong, earthquakes can occur naturally, but you must also know man can induce the earthquakes as well. Now, how could Antarctica play into this? Last night I called my friend Julio. I said, Julio, what's taking place down there? What's going on? He said, well, the polar regions are the only place where certain ionosphere resonance waves can be generated and bounce across the globe without interference. And they do that by transmitting direct pulse into the Earth's crust. And so they destabilized the weak fault zone near the Colombian coast last evening. That's what they did from Antarctica. But even stranger, there were declassified CIA documents from Project Condor era. And I did a video about this about probably last year in South America, mentioning geophysical warfare as a hypothetical tool to destabilize unfriendly governments. This is in full swing now. They specifically talked about plate manipulation experiments in the polar region, though conveniently all the references stopped in 2001. But that's when the US massively expanding its Arctic presence. You got to know these things. So when I called up Julio, he said, yep, it's definitely Antarctica. Antarctica stations as covert geophysical weapons platform. Venezuela dare to challenge the US, and suddenly natural earthquake rocks the nation. Four of them in one night. And the cover story is what? just tectonic plates. Guys, you have to know what's happening. You have to know where you live. You have to know the region. You have to know the people and the demons that you're playing with. So the earthquakes last night, they were not natural earthquakes. They were triggered from Antarctica.